Hello everyone, welcome to Miss Demtastic Maths. In today's lesson, we will be ordering fractions by making the denominators the same. We will find equivalent fractions, simplify fractions. Prime factorization can also be used to find highest common factor and lowest common multiple. Familiarization with multiples, common multiples, and least common multiples. We can use equivalent fractions to help order fractions. We can do this by making the denominators the same. Let's go through an example. We have three fractions, 7/10, 5/6, and 2/3. We want to put these fractions in order, starting from the smallest. Now, looking at 7/10, 5/6, and 2/3, we can say that the lowest common multiple between these is 30. So I'm going to multiply the first fraction by 3. So 7 times 3 is 21, 10 times 3 is 30. So 6, I'm going to multiply that by 5 to get to 30. So 5 times 5 is 25, and 6 times 5 is 30. So the bottom number has to be the same. The denominators must be the same. 2/3, I will multiply the third by 10 to get it to 30. So 2 times 10 is 20. So whatever we do to the bottom fraction, we also do it to the top of the fraction. So if you multiply the denominator by 10, we multiply the numerator by 10. And because all of the denominators are the same, we just compare the numerators. 20 is the smallest number, then is 21, and 25 is the largest number. So now it's very easy to order the fractions from smallest to largest. Once you've ordered your fractions, you can then write the original fractions in order to. So 20/30 was 2/3, 21/30 was 7/10, and 25/30 was 5/6. Okay, I would like you to pause the screen now and have a go at the following question. Okay, for this question, we need to sort the fractions out starting from the smallest. I can see that 12 is the lowest common multiple between 2, 3, and 4. So a half times 6 is 6/12. 3, if I multiply by 4, I can get 12 at the bottom. So 2/3 times 4 is 12/8. 3/4 times 3 is 9/12. And a third times 4 is 4/12. Now, I'm going to write these fractions out again. Starting from the smallest to the largest. So 4/12, 6/12, 8/12, and 9/12. I am now going to write the original fraction beneath them. So then I can write it in order to see whether it's A, B, C, or D. So 4/12 was a third originally. 6/12, its equivalent fraction was a half. 8/12's equivalent fraction was 2/3. And 9/12's equivalent fraction was 3/4. So the answer is A. But once you find the equivalent fractions with the lowest common multiple as the denominator, then always turn the fractions back into their original. Now, pause the screen and have a go at this question. Okay, so which fraction is the smallest? I can see that 3, 4, and 2 are all multiples of 12. So I'm going to find the equivalent fractions so that the denominators are 12. So 3 times 4 is 4/12. 1/4 times 3 is 3/12, and 3/2 times 6 is 18/12. Now I'm just going to take a look at the numerators and compare them. And the smallest one is 3/12, and so therefore 1/4 is the smallest. Please pause the screens and have a go at the following questions. And where you can, please simplify your answers. Pause the screen to mark your answers. Okay, pause the screen again and have a go at questions 3 and 4. Here are the answers to question 3 and questions 4. Okay, now for the challenge question. Write down a fraction between 2/3 and 4/5. Now for these, find the equivalent fractions so that their denominators are the same. I can see the lowest common multiple between 3 and 5 is 15. So therefore, I'm going to multiply the first one, 2/3 by 5 to get 10/15, and the 4/5 by 3 to get 12/15. Now, a number in between 10/15 and 12/15 is 11/15. So that is a fraction that is in between those two fractions. That's one possible answer. There are many different answers that you can have. Question 2. Write down a fraction between 5/8 and 2/3. Now, looking at these two, I can see that 8 and 3 have a lowest common multiple of 24. So if I multiply the first fraction by 3 and the second fraction by 8, I can then get two fractions with the same denominators that I can compare. So 5/8 times 3 will become 15/24. And the second fraction, 2/3, if I multiply that by 8, I will get 16/24. Now, 15 and 16, they are consecutive integers. So number between them two will be 15.5. So 15.5/24. The next step is to multiply 3 by 2 to make the numerator an integer. That way we will eliminate the decimal point. So 15.5/24 will become 31/48. So 31/48 is a fraction that has a value between 5/8 and 2/3. So whenever you have a decimal like 0.5, just multiply by 2 and that will get rid of that 0.5. Pause the screens and have a go at challenge 2. So for challenge 2, 3 friends have played the same number of matches of snooker this year. Kyron has won 7/10 of the matches that he has played. Mark has won 7/8 of the matches that he has played. Jordan has won 5/6 of the matches that he has played. Write the friends in order, starting with the person that has won the most matches. Now again, 10, 8, and 6 are the denominators, and I'm going to find a common factor, and the lowest common multiple I can see is 120. So 7/10, if I multiply that by 12, I will then get 84. And 7/8, 120 divided by 8 will give me 15. So 105 times 7 times 15 is 105/120. And how many 6 go into 120? That's 20. So 5 times 20 is 100. So then I just need to put those in order. So Jordan is 100/120. Mark is 105/120. Kyron is 84/120. And the person that's won the most games is Mark, and then it's Jordan, and then finally Kyron. Okay, I'd like you to pause the screens now and have a go at challenge 3. Okay, Mary's salary increases by 3/7. Michael's salary increases by 2/5. Mary claims her salary will increase by more money than Michael's. Explain why she may not be correct. Now we know that salary increase amounts to the original salary multiplied by the fraction increase. Let's find equivalent fractions so that these two fractions have the same denominators. So 7 and 5, the lowest common multiple would be 35. So 3/7 multiplied by 5 will give us 15/35. And 2/5 multiplied by 7 will give us 14/35. So if we look at the two multipliers, we can say that we can see clearly that Mary's multiplier, her fraction, is greater than Michael's. Hers is 15/35. Michael's is 14/35. Is that enough to claim that Mary's salary increase will be greater than Michael's? There is one more factor that she hasn't considered, and that is the starting salary. If Mary's starting salary was greater than Michael's, then yes, her percentage increase will be greater. But if Michael's starting salary, original salary, is far greater than Mary's, then no, Michael's increase will be greater. So I'm going to go through through two scenarios. One where Mary's salary is higher, and in the other one, Michael's is higher, and then we will see the difference. So assuming that Mary's original salary was £700 and Michael's is 1,000, when we multiply the two salaries with the respective multipliers, the 700 times 3/7 gives us a £300 increase. Michael's 1,000 times 2/5 will give us a £400 increase. So clearly we can see that Michael's increase is greater than Mary's, despite her multiplier being greater than Michael's. In the second example, let's assume that Mary's original salary is £1,400 and Michael's is £500. So when we multiply the original salaries by the multipliers, Mary will get an increase of £600 and Michael will see an increase of £200. So Mary gets more in this case. So Mary's claim isn't necessarily correct because the actual increase amount depends on their starting salaries. I'd like you to pause the screen now and have a go at challenge 4. Curtis writes down two fractions, 27/20 and 8/3. Work out which of the two fractions is closer to 2. Now I am going to change these two fractions into mixed fractions. So how many 20s fit into 27 is 1, and we have 7/20 left over. How many 3s can we fit into 8? There's 2 3s that we can fit into 8, and then we have 2 thirds left over. Now to go from 1 whole and 7/20 to 2, that means I need to take 7/20 away from 1 whole, which gives me 14/20. And then I can see for the second fraction, I've got 2 thirds extra. So the lowest common multiple between 20 and 3 is 60. So 20 times 3 is 60, 14 times 3 is 42, 3 times 20 is 60, and 2 times 20 gives me 40. Now the next step is to compare the numerators. So I've got 42/60 on one side and 40/60 on the other side. Now clearly 40 is less than 42, so therefore the second fraction, 8/3, is closer to 2 than 27/20. I'd like you to pause the screen and have a go at the exit ticket. Write down the largest of these three fractions. So we've got 3/5, 11/20, and a half. 3/5 is the largest, has the largest value.